Brad Stevens might be the biggest evil genius in the NBA because his superstar goes down. So what does he do? We're going to trade away all of our bad contracts. We're going to try and tank this season while he recovers. And then we're also going to try and sign a former All-NBA point guard that also tore his Achilles so they can rehab together. And next year we can go for another NBA championship because a lineup of Damian Lillard, Derek White, Jayson, Tatum, and Jaylen Brown is absolutely filthy. We can throw Luka Garza at center and still be fine. Now, it has been reported that there is some mutual interest between Dame and the Celtics. Dame has close ties with Jayson Tatum, and of course, both coming off Achilles tears, could rehab together. That four right there would be deadly, but yes, Dame will be 36. However, there was another guy into his 30s that tore his Achilles in the playoffs, tried to come back too early, and then all of a sudden is back to his normal self. He missed his entire age 31 season, and the Slim Reaper came back at age 32, dropping 27, 7, and 5.4 assists. Now, he only played in 35 games that year, but he shot the best efficiency of his career coming off of an Achilles tear. It can be done. I understand that Dame is about to turn 35 and that he was 4 years older than KD was when he tore his Achilles, but just a year later, 2 years off of an Achilles tear, KD averaged 30, 7.5, and 6.5 on 52-38 shooting splits. Absolutely ridiculous. He was 10th in MVP voting just 80 games after tearing his Achilles. So obviously, Kevin Durant, a little bit taller, a little bit of a more naturally gifted scorer, but Damian Lillard is a phenomenal scorer as well. He's coming off of a season in Milwaukee where he averaged 25 points per game, 7.1 assists, 4.7 rebounds, 1.2 steals, and was really heating up there towards the end before the injury happened. 45% shooting from the field, 38% from 3 on 9 attempts. Really one of the bigger what-ifs, like what Dame and Giannis could have done together in the playoffs, because we saw they won the in-season tournament, but we just never got to see them play together in the playoffs. In 2021-2022, he played in 29 games, meaning that this isn't the first time he's had a big injury late into his 30s. He only averaged 24 points, 7 assists, and 4.5 rebounds that year before they shut him down, shooting 40% from the field and 32% from 3. Then, the next season, he responds like only Damian Lillard would do, being second in the league in scoring with 32.2 points per game, 7.4 assists, and 4.8 rebounds in his final season in Portland, going out with a bang. Shot 46% from the field and 37% from 3 on 11 attempts per game. He would fit right in Boston. And like I said, he's got another guy he can come in and rehab with, get right with, and then the next year in 2026, 2027, they are ready to roll. This trio right here would be absolutely filthy. I don't care how old Dame is. This trio is still absolutely filthy. You've got the inside scoring of Jaylen Brown, the perimeter scoring of Damian Lillard, and then the everything in between with Jayson Tatum, coming off of a season where he averaged 27 points a game, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, and a steal in 36 minutes, shooting 45% from the field and 34% from 3 on 10.2 attempts. The Celtics are also going to try and tank for a high lottery pick, and maybe Adam Silver blesses them like he just did with the Mavericks. Now, Joe Mazzulla, I think, has Jayson Tatum taking too many threes. We've talked about this throughout the entire season. This man is 6'8", 215 pounds. There is no reason that he should be standing out on the three-point line, going tween, step back, taking 10.2 threes a game. That is ridiculous. That simply needs to come down. 7, 8, I'm cool with, but 10, that's a few too many. Now, bringing in Damian Lillard would definitely put into question the status of Anthony Simons as a Boston Celtic. He obviously was just acquired the other day when they traded out Drew Holiday to Portland. We'll see if Drew sticks in Portland or not. But Simons, we're also, waiting to see if he sticks in Boston. He's on an expiring deal, 1 year, $27.5 million, so they could completely get free of the first apron if they trade either Niang or Simons, or maybe just Simons. I don't know if they trade Niang, they're going to duck it or not. Regardless, he averaged 19.3 points a game, 4.8 assists, 2.7 rebounds, shot 43% from the field and 36% from 3 last year, on 8.5 attempts a game. So it fits right into the Celtics culture of chucking threes. He will be just 26 years old next year. So unlike Damian Lillard, who will be 36, he fits in to the timeline of this core. However, if you bring in Dame, then Simons is probably gone because you now have 3 point guards, and there's no way they're getting rid of Pritchard over one of those two guys. As for the development of this team, like we said, Boston is probably tanking next year. They need to develop these young wings. Baylor Shireman being one. They just drafted him last year, and I thought he was a day one guy. Ended up only averaging 3.6 points and 2.1 rebounds in 31 games played. They were competing for a championship, so fair enough. They're not going to play the young guys that much. He only shot 32% from 3-on-3 attempts. Not great. However, there were flashes. Like over the last 16 games of the season where the Celtics went 14-2, and Baylor averaged 6.5 points and 3 boards in 18 minutes a game while shooting 41% from the field and 37% from 3 on 4 attempts a game. That is very decent. Like I said, he will be 25 next year, so he's very old for a second-year player, but I think he can contribute and will contribute. He's 6'8" with a 6'9" wingspan and can really shoot it. Going into year 2, I think we see a lot out of Baylor Shireman. And then the rookie, Hugo Gonzalez, 6'7" with a 6'11" wingspan and some bounce. They throw this dude a ton of lobs. Plays for the premier club in Spain, Real Madrid. Crashes the glass, has a big-time motor, and the three-point shot. It's a work in progress. He's hitting step backs. It's much better than when he was playing U18 ball just a year ago. Now, yes, he only averaged 5.2 points, 2.5 rebounds, and an assist in 14 minutes a game while shooting 44% from the field and 27% from 3. Not great. A lot of people are knocking this pick. However, I kind of like it. I think Hugo Gonzalez is kind of a shot in the dark, but if it hits, man, Brad Stevens is going to look like an absolute demon on draft day. Cutting back door right there, and then playing out of the pick and roll right here, waiting for the play to develop and then attacking, finding his hole and then exploiting it right here. As the defense parts, he's going to get right down the middle and get to that left hand for the easy lay. Like I said earlier, he's got an elite motor. Watch this cut right here, right to the rim, and then crashing the glass on the offensive end of the ball and getting the putback. He does that a lot. Now, the shooting is a work in progress, like I said, but he's flying off down screens, coming off pin downs. That is definitely a step in the right direction. Now, their other draft pick was Amari Williams out of Kentucky, a center that is a good rim runner, a good rim protector. Other than that, I don't know. He's a decent passer as well. You see him hit up Kobe Bryant right there on the back cut, but he really offers no shooting, not much scoring other than a lob threat. So we'll see how much of an impact he has. The remaining pieces for Boston, of course, they have everybody we've talked about, and then Sam Hauser, who is on a 4-year, $48 million contract. Wouldn't be shocked to see if they try and move on from him or use him as a trade piece. He could be a very valuable trade piece when it comes to matching salaries if they do try and go out and get a center in the future. Danny Ainge has said they want a haul for Walker Kessler, so it'd probably be somebody else, but you can find a serviceable center. Derek White, obviously the best role player in the NBA, and I'll stick by that. He's going to be more than a role player now, though. He's going to be a star. He's going to be the third option in Boston, and I'm excited to see what he can do with that title. He's going to be the second option this year, only behind Jaylen Brown, who it's going to be interesting to see what Jaylen Brown can do under a full year of just the Jaylen Brown show. This is his team this year. We'll see what he can go out and do. He's been the sidekick to Tatum his whole career. Of course, he won the Finals MVP, but still, a full 82 games of the Jaylen Brown show. Brad Stevens probably has something else up his sleeve when it comes to getting a couple of posts, because all their posts left in free agency this year. I don't think Luka Garza is the plan. We'll see, though. I do like Josh Minai, though. I think that could be a good signing, good potential there. With that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like button, leave me a comment down below, and that subscribe button if you did enjoy at any point. We're looking for about 300 likes on today's video, and with that being said, thanks so much for watching today's video.